All right, I have pressed the shiny button.
Button?
It becomes shinier when you press it. It's actually just a gray button before you press it, but now it's a shiny blue button.
Ah.
Yes, not blue label, but it is a label on. Never mind. Hello and welcome to Pack Tactics Season 4. This is a 5th edition homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM and or GM, as the case may be, for the evening. And tonight I am joined by an incredible bunch of wonderful people, including Beth, Ellie, EO, and Jen. It's been a little while. Some of us got sick. By some of us, I mean me specifically. Bronchitis is fun. Have you ever heard your lungs creak like an old rocking chair?
Ooh.
I have now. I pray that none of you have that experience. It is surreal. It was happening while I was holding my breath. Yes, but I am better now. Not good, but better.
Good.
But now that I'm recovered enough to actually be able to speak again, what happened in the days of yesteryear?
We terrified small children because we look like tiny dragons, which reminded them of the giant blue dragon that is attacking their encampment.
That is an out of context quote, and we are not 5 minutes into the recording. No, we are not 2 minutes into the recording. You started that at 1 minute 30 seconds. Well done.
Thank you. Do I get inspiration? Do I get inspiration for it?
Sure. Yes.
Excellent. Am I terrible? Yes.
Great and terrible. Like all good
Inspiration
GMs.
ticky. Okay. I'm not jamming yet.
There is a very key word in that sentence that I want to point out to everyone. We all heard it. We're witnesses.
Well, I might do the GURPS one sometime. Anyhow, right. And so the blue dragon is attacking us. Well, kind of attacking us. If not for extra hit points, we would be down one long cap, and that would be bad because I don't have res yet. And Sori is upset with blue dragons being rude. Extremely rude.
Depends on what you mean by rude.
I feel like, from the blue dragon's point of view, there are all these little mammals running around being a problem, I'm sure, but that does not mean...
Apparently my Discord wants to randomly cut in and out again.
Ew, yuck. Bad Discord, naughty. But
have you tried speaking to your Discord in a firm but steady voice while holding a rolled up newspaper?
Yes, but the mic didn't pick it up.
Okay, you know when I'm editing this, that's going to end up being out of context as well. As infuriating as EO's situation is, that will also end up being out of context.
Excellent, wonderful.
Well, it's wonderful except for the mic thing. But yes, all this is happening because you took a train ride, an underground train ride, to find the location where cobots were building helms for Spelljammer ships.
Oh, right.
You didn't actually get to the destination. You got to a giant hole in the ground, which was deep enough to include where train tracks should have been. And there's because the cobots were cowards when they created their subway system, our train did not attempt to jump the gap. It slowed down instead. I can assure you the gap is a bit wider than you would want it to be for such an attempt. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to say go out. And that there might not actually be a landing area on the other side. Curses. There is, however, a small lake at the bottom of said hole, which is actually a very large crater. Those of you who went up to the top, there's actually a cultivated orchard and plant life all over the place and tons of tents and people running and screaming. There's a few things that are on fire, a few more things. Don't go to the south side of the camp. That's a wash. No, not the stuff hanging between those trees. That is the wash. But down there is a wash. And there is a blue dragon that's been flying around, swooping in, using its breath weapon to set things on fire with lightning, because of course it is. Why plant trees all over the place if not for a blue dragon to hit them with lightning? Is its apparent philosophy.
Rude.
Well, you're rude for getting in the way of its fun of setting trees on fire and terrorizing the populace.
No.
Why is it all about your needs? Think about its needs.
Because I'm the cleric.
And it's the blue dragon.
And that's why there's going to be some yelling.
Well, to be fair, it is your turn. So what would you like to yell?
Well, first, I would like to cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
And I do that by clicking the thing. Does that make it... Oh, hey, it does all that. So how do I tell it that I'm actually casting this?
Oh, for the record, as Beth is figuring that out, we are trying Foundry VTT. It is a neat program. It has a lot of interesting features. It is also very new to all of us. So there's going to be a lot of, wait, what now? How do I do this thing? And wait, no. There may be a bit more, wait, no, that is spoken out loud or done internally, or a combination of both. Some of us might use more words than others. Some of us might use words with more letters than others. Some of us might stick to words that have 4 letters exactly before conjugating the verb. The DM may or may not have editing to do. And for the record, I think if you click on the icon next to the spell, like if you mouse over it, it turns into a D20 icon.
And
that
it
might
darkens.
let you cast it.
Yes. How would I like to use it? Cast at level, consume a spell slot, cast a spell. Okay, that works.
Okay. And it gives us a thing in the chat messages that says mirror images. This is all the stuff that I don't have to say, okay, but what does that spell do?
Oh.
It just told the entire party, Sori's doing a thing. This is the thing that Sori is doing. And now I've got 5 paragraphs to go through to find out how many images you have.
I get
3 duplicates.
3 duplicates,
The
apparently?
first words of the spell.
Right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I
you know
think
what I'm
this
going to
is
do? Check this out, because I found this out when you were playing with this like last week, I think. I can just drag more Soris onto the map.
No. Oh
There
no.
they are.
Okay.
EO is now terrified.
Let's see.
EO's parental unit has duplicated. They're multiplying. Quick, have all 4 equip ocarinas. Go.
You can't bury this ocarina because you don't know which one is real.
3 of them are
Oh,
illusionary.
you're
One of them
adorable.
always tells the truth. Wait, no.
Okay.
The other 3 are lies.
Who's hearing me? Is anyone even hearing me?
Yeah, but
I heard you now.
I'm hearing you now.
You were
Okay.
saying, oh no.
My
We
ring was
definitely
not
heard
light
the oh
enough.
no.
Yes, we heard the oh no.
I
Okay,
also
okay,
said
where's
one of them is hard enough to handle.
right? Actually, let's see. What I actually need. Okay. Can we revamp this briefly because I had the wrong thing. I need to uncast that one because I have Channel Divinity Invoke Duplicity.
Okay.
Creates an illusion of myself that lasts 1 minute or until I lose my concentration. And where would I find my? Ew. There it is. There's my Channel Divinity, which wants a. I don't know if it wants a long rest or a short rest, but I
Well,
need to channel it.
Either way,
There's
either
one.
way,
There's
you're
one
using
extra.
it up, not replenishing it. So
Okay, so I don't know how to. There's no clicky for it. It's sad.
click on the 1 because it says 1 out of 1. So
Yeah.
click on the 1 that comes before the other one
So it's now 0 out of 1.
and change it. Oh, that changed immediately. There was no latency for me at all. That was nice. Or maybe there
Excellent.
was, but I heard the click from your audio coming through at the same time I saw it change.
Funky.
So if there's latency, it's equal opportunity.
All right. So I need to uncast that, and I do that by this. Oh, okay. So I do it there. Okay, got that.
Remember, listeners, what I said earlier about you're going to hear a lot of us learning how to do this tonight.
Fun stuff. Okay, so I can move. As a bonus action, I can move the illusion up to 30 feet, but must remain within 120 feet of me. I can cast spells as the illusion, but okay, if it sees both of us. So what I want to do is move it 100. Want to move it 30 feet diagonal up towards the dragon, and have the illusion me start telling it in Draconic, "What do you think you're doing? Stop that right now. This is very rude."
So give me a moment because I need clarification.
Okay.
When you said 30 feet diagonally up,
Yes,
did
I
you
want
mean
vertical.
vertically or north?
Vertical up from the ground on a diagonal from where I am. So it's probably not going to be 30 feet above the ground. It's probably going to be just high enough.
So this is going to be Clay Pigeon Shoot starring Duplicate Sori.
Yes.
So
I'm not doing this as myself. Duh.
Also, you can't fly, but you're going to make your illusionary duplicate go up. So this makes total sense. I'm just trying to make sure that as we do a theater of the mind, because even if many of us are looking at a map right now, this is theater of the mind for the audience.
If it looks like it's sitting on a branch in a tree or standing on a tree branch, that's sort of what she's aiming for.
So
to look like she climbed a tree.
So here's another thing that we have. If you right click on the character icon and you see that sea of stuff going around it, over on the left near the top, there's a 0. Yep. That is your altitude.
Ooh, I see it. Let's see. It can go. Let's call it 10 hexes up, and
we'll put in feet because I'm not going to remember that was hexaspaces.
Oh, how many feet? I have no idea how many feet. 30. Okay.
Let's split in 30.
Okay.
It doesn't make total sense. Oh my gosh!
It puts a little.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
You're looking at the 30 feet that appeared? The numbers?
Yep.
Okay.
That's neat.
That is neat. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so shove it over to that tree there. Can I put it on that part? I'd like it to be about there, if that's possible for the moving of it, and then up approximately 30 feet. So it moved a couple of squares and then up, if that's all right.
Yay!
Yay!
So I'm going to now do a thing because Sir not appearing in this film is going to start appearing.
And that would probably be the dragon, wouldn't it?
It will be the dragon, and I made them invisible so you wouldn't know where they were. But because of what you're describing, it would make sense for you to say, if I'm sending them over to the dragon, that I make the dragon actually show up now. So let's give the dragon some altitude. The dragon has gotten an altitude adjustment. Thank you. I'm here all week. Not just because it's Saturday. And in theory, you should now see a dragon.
Well, some of it directly.
Some of it. Yeah. Oh, there. Okay. I see a dragon.
There are dynamic shadows, so if your character is in a position where they wouldn't be able to see through the trees, they won't see the dragon.
I see a little bit of dragon wing there. Yes.
I see, some of the wings.
And I can
if I click on duplicate Sori, I can see how much of the dragon Sori can see. This is as the DM or GM, I can click on each character to see their line of sight. That is super neat. I can see that Maury would be terrified. Maury is terrified. Maury's having a very bad, terrible, no bad, very bad.
This is not
language
good.
Words day. Which, to be fair, Maury right now probably has the same control of the common language as I do at this moment.
Okay.
Yes. So Sori is yelling in Draconic. We have already heard, bad dragon, no biscuit for you. What would your parents say? And I'm going to try a thing. Let's see if this works. It should work. No, I'm not rolling for Sori. That's not what I want to do.
You want to roll for the dragon?
No, I don't want to roll for the dragon.
I'm very concerned about this now.
No, it's fine. Because you should be getting a pop-up.
Oh, yes. Excellent. And my pretty die. Do I roll low or high? I'm supposed to roll high.
You were supposed to roll high and you got a 5.
That's bad.
Well, plus 3, so you got an 8. So as a response...
Bye-bye illusion.
Well, not right away, because it is not the dragon's turn. It is your turn. Is there anything else you can do?
Do I have any bonus actions left? Because my action was to channel divinity, and my bonus action was to move it, and talking is a free action, so I think I'm out now.
Okay. Well, you have your physical movement, but because your movement and your duplicate's movement are not the same movement.
Correct. I'm not sure where I would be going, possibly stepping undercover. Can I... Ooh, I cannot...
Unfortunately, because you are only a kobold in spirit, you cannot grovel, cower, or beg.
I would not. Just because I'm culturally kobold does not mean that I do groveling, cowering, or begging, unless perhaps I am about to stab someone with a knife from even lower than usual.
To be fair, I think that's also why kobolds do it usually.
Okay, fair. I cannot target my other self right now. It seems to think that that's the original me. Whoops.
Technically, they are both the original you.
Yeah, well, I can't target my other me. It's in the shadows. I'm outside my line of sight. Maybe I should... Oh, well.
I'm outside my line of sight. That's right.
I moved you over a little bit so you can see yourself again.
That's why you moved.
Thanks. Okay, now I could do it. Okay, I'm going to put myself back where I was for that. So, okay. Yeah, this probably actually isn't a bad place to be since the dragon mostly can't... Oh, it's up high, so...
All right, so it's Maury's turn. Maury is going to cast Calm Emotions because it's either that or Ray of Enfeeblement, and that's probably not going to do much. And Maury just wants people to sit down and talk, or
is she
roar,
casting it on the dragon?
Or growl at each other, or something else. But this isn't it. The setting fire to things isn't it. She's had a very bad day.
Valid.
And if we could all just have a cup of tea or something, maybe a biscuit, maybe a cupcake or something, or one of those muffins not with the one with the raisins in it. Not this time. So let's see. We're going to cast Calm Emotions. It's going to create a 20-foot sphere, 20-foot radius sphere, as opposed to a radiant sphere. And it's going to be centered on the dragon. Sorry?
That would possibly involve a small halfling wizard.
Well, it's definitely going to include a duplicate.
My duplicate will continue calmly complaining that this is an extremely rude behavior and draconic, which ought to at least be distracting.
Well, the good news is, because your duplicate is an illusion, Calm Emotions is really not going to do a thing.
True.
However, it might do something to the dragon.
Let's cross our fingers.
Granted, it's a dragon. So that is a DC 14 charisma saving throw.
Roll low like I do, dragon.
And if I go to the dragon, charisma, saving throw. Click. Was
it a public roll? Boop.
You know what? I'm just going to hit the D20 thing over here because I'm not figuring that out. That is a nat 20.
Oh, for pity's sake. Sorry.
And that probably showed up as a public roll. So,
yes.
My helper NPC continues to not be overpowered.
Your dragon is overpowered? Okay.
It's a dragon. To be fair, it is a dragon.
I've been holding my tongue on this, but since the dragon succeeded on its roll, I don't see the harm in pointing it out. Calm Emotion specifically targets humanoids.
So, you are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. You are actually correct, which is also a good kind of correct. And also, guess what? Maury has never seen a dragon before. So
considering a lot of us are sort of small reptile creatures, I feel like Maury is perfectly justified in assuming that a dragon would be just a big reptile type creature.
Now,
this is what Maury was hoping would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Maury cast Throw the Cheese.
Oh my gosh.
Only Maury missed the cat's head, and by cat's head I mean the blue dragon's head.
Oh well.
Now you might all assume that the DM forgot Calm Emotions does not affect does not affect non-humanoids. And you would absolutely be right. But retroactively the DM is going to say, well, Maury just didn't know any better.
I mean, that's fair.
Seems fair. She's never seen one, so how would she know what to do?
Yes.
Besides, Just because it's horizontal while flying does not mean that it's easy to tell that it does not walk on its hind legs when it is standing.
And I'm just going to do a brief aside before I say it's Utashi's turn, because it's about to be Utashi's turn.
Oh, okay.
But just a brief aside, we are stopping to banter after pretty much every decision that is made. This is not a complaint because I am honestly enjoying the banter. I know that not everyone who's in our circle of friends appreciates that. I'm loving this. I'm not going to say to stop. However, it is now Utashi's turn.
Yes.
So, Utashi, you see what you see.
Okay, I'm going to find a character sheet, figure out what I'm doing here. Yep. I'm trying to find my character sheet at the top of the page here.
If you go to the map and just double click on your character, that should also make your character sheet pop up.
Cool.
And if you
there it
then
is. Okay.
right, you see the little thing that says pop out along the top of the window, like goes pop up sheet token stuff. It will
Over
you
the
can
side?
up on
On the
top.
top of your character
Okay.
sheet.
At the top of the character sheet.
Top
I
of the
think it
character
says,
sheet. Oh, okay.
it says pop out
see
there,
this now.
and it has a little sort of arrow there. If you click that, it will make another sheet, so you can then layer your it'll pop it out into a window of its own, and then you can layer the map window and the character sheet window, so you can have them both. So it won't cover up screen the same way.
Interesting. Okay, I have done the pop-up thing. So now I'm looking at spells, I suppose. Let's see. So it's a big old dragon, and do we want to be violent, or are we still talking to the dragon?
We might need to heal Longkep. I don't know how Longkep's hit points are doing.
34.
Okay. Longkep's actually decent right now. Okay.
There were temporary hit points that were expended, but otherwise, Longkep is doing well.
Oh, good.
Longkep got healed earlier.
Right.
Okay. Let's see.
For what it's worth, Deza is planning on talking to the dragon.
Oh, okay. Then I won't be violent yet. Let's see. Trying to find what spells I picked are pretty interesting. It's like, what did I do? Can I bring up my spiritual weapon but not use it yet?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I don't know what I need to hit to do that, but that's what I want to do.
So if you're looking at your spells, click on the icon next to spiritual weapon. And that casts it. And it may or may not give you something that you place on the map.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I've never
I'm
cast
gonna
spiritual
hit
weapon on here.
spell and see what it does. Where did it go? I do not know. I don't see it.
All right. Well, we'll just assume it's near the dragon.
Sure. Like near, but not, not attacking. Just nearby.
The default is theater of the mind. Everything else is we have buttons to press.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do.
All right. One moment. All right. Deza.
Deza is going to exercise that 15 wisdom and walk toward the dragon.
We see the 15 wisdom go into an exercise montage. Lifting weights, running track, drinking Powerade, reading an entire thesaurus. Wait, no, this is Deza we're talking about. Reading a book of ancient Greek.
It's the eye of the hoot owl.
Duolingo?
Or the Rakasha.
The hoot owl, because that's how I get tiger. Eye of the tiger. Except it's wisdom, and wisdom is associated with owls because of Minerva. So eye of the hoot owl.
Oh, I was thinking about Duolingo
Language.
because of the ancient Greek.
Oh,
it works both ways.
Oh, now that it's explained to me, I get it, and it's funny. But Deza, how are you actually exercising your 15 wisdom?
By moving toward the dragon.
Wait.
This is wisdom?
I see what you did there, and you have inspiration if you didn't already have inspiration. That it had to be pointed out to me and highlighted in red that that's what you were doing is irrelevant. You have inspiration, young lady. And now what?
Hang on. What do you actually want to accomplish here?
So let me get this straight. You are approaching the dragon and asking it calmly what it wants.
Yes.
One moment, because the DM might have to decide how the dragon reacts to a question that it has never been asked before in its life. At least not with that calm demeanor.
Cut to the dragon on its back, on a chair, on a couch. Deza to the side, taking notes.
And how do you feel about that? You know what? Let me try a thing.
Not a thing.
Yes, Bum, bum, bum.
Thing.
Dun, dun! Suddenly, 3 people dressed in crimson jump into the room. Wait, no. For want of a better option, I am requesting a persuasion check.
I will do that in 2 seconds.
Okay, well, that's a 19 on the die. 22 total. One moment. I was fine for most of the day. I come home and now all the gloriousness, using the very wrong word to describe the situation. But that's neither here nor there. What is here is Deza got a 22 on a persuasion check to ask the dragon what it wants. It swivels its head away from Airborne's super sorry. May or may not be powering up with hair turning bright yellow. Let's not talk about that. And just, dragons don't have eyebrows. But if they did, one would be raised in your direction. Because it is very confused at your nonchalant way of asking this. And it says, "This seems like a good lair. I thought I would take it."
Oh, what part of this?
You think this is something to be divided?
Well, there's a whole huge crater.
And the rest of it as well.
Well, sure, but the rest of what?
As far as you see and more.
Okay, but where were you going to live? Like, were you just going to, like, enlarge until you sprawled out all over all of it? Or was there a particular place you had in mind?
I am interested in keeping this conversation going, but at the same time, I am thinking about how much we abuse talking as a free action.
Dragon going to drop out of combat.
I was
That's all.
I was thinking it's Longcap's turn at this point. I got my 3 sentences out.
What I am going to say is, Longcap, while this conversation is going on, is there anything that you choose to do?
I don't think there's anything Longcap can do.
Okay. Reassuringly, pat smallest cap or tiniest cap. I forget which. I keep using the wrong one.
Smallest cap.
Smallest cap. Okay. Reassuringly patting smallest cap on the head because smallest cap looks nervous.
Thanks, Cap.
Does Longcap want to move somewhere, sidle, undercover, or anything, I guess?
I don't know where Longcap is.
This is fair.
Out in the middle of a path?
Well, you are in the middle of an orchard. There are trees everywhere. Do you want to remain in line of sight of the dragon, which is where you currently are, or would you like to put a flammable large object between you and the dragon?
Are there still people who need hurting?
The people have realized dragon bad, move away from dragon at this point. The ones who were more terrified and petrified with fear, I'm going to say efforts were made during the last session to get them out of the way, or to put the fear of kobold in them, because fear of dragon was too much.
They went under they went down the little stairs that we shape earthed, and then the dragon landed on it briefly and collapsed some of that. But hopefully there are people who are safe in the tunnel now.
I'm going to say that yes, they made it down safe the tunnel. I'm not crushing kids right now.
Good.
Longcap is going to head for the opposite side of the crater.
It's a very big crater.
Yes, it is an extremely large crater. You can start heading in that direction. You will definitely not get there this turn, but you can make a beeline for that direction.
That's fine. Longcap dashes.
Okay. From where you were, I will say that you've just gotten to the edge of the crater, and you are some distance away from everyone else, but that seems fair. All right. And now it is conveniently the blue dragon's turn. It is going to move over here, if I can move it, and it's going to land right in front of Deza. And I'm sure that if I read the thing about plank units, it's going to be very funny for me, but I just can't right now because blue dragon, Deza, buttons. Okay, those 3 things said in a row is out of context. So it lands down with a earth-shattering thump in front of Deza and sort of tilts its head in the way a dog does when it hears a new sound. But it's looking at Deza. And do you understand how much land a dragon needs?
Well, I've never met one in person. By the way, out of character, the plank length is the smallest unit that can possibly be measured.
Plank's cap.
Oh, so smaller than smallest cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have tiny cap, smallest cap, and then smallest of the smallest caps. Imagine, if you will, there is a Kep on smallest Kep's shoulder. On that Kep is a smaller Kep on that smaller Kep's shoulder. On that Kep, it's a fractal. You keep zooming in to see another Kep.
Is this like Dr. Seuss's Littlest Cat Z?
That's what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to stop thinking about this, or I will make it canon.
Plank's
Beware, I
canon?
might actually make it canon after I slept on it.
Plank's cannon. Okay.
That would do the least amount of damage possible, or split an atom, which would be the opposite of least amount.
Yeah.
Significantly opposite from least.
Then we go back to someone casting a radiant sphere.
Yes.
Well, variant of the word radiant.
No. There's a spell called Sickening Radiance. It does radiant damage and exhaustion. Canonically, in D&D, radiation is radiant damage.
I will not pause the game to think about the philosophical ramifications of this.
To be fair,
But I-
not all
but I
radiant damage
really
is
want to.
radiation, probably.
I feel like I need to write an essay on
Someone
this.
just came out of their room and mouthed, "What?" at me.
It's not all radiant damage, it's radiation.
They have a lot of questions and no answers, and they're not sure they want them.
Valid.
So here's the
Ooh,
thing. This isn't
shiny.
for this particular campaign specifically, but I will say I now have concerns about Teriesh's domain being.
Oh,
Hey,
a-
Rang likes to do necrotic damage to things.
I'm just imagining Terry saying, I am become death, destroyer of worlds when they ascended.
I've already given you inspiration.
No, you have not. And
That was my-
if you try, I'm going to drag you away by the ear. I don't care if you're a god.
Anyway.
Also, you're not a god of death, I'm pretty sure.
So that's 3 of you who have earned inspiration tonight now. And
Well,
some of
since
it
we
for stuff
played.
that isn't even happening in this campaign. I love this game so much. I love the time I get to spend with my friends. Thank you. This is just what I needed today.
Oh, good.
We provide a valuable service.
Yes, you do. And thank you for that. I cherish all of you. And also, I'm trying to remember what the conversation was with the dragon today, Za.
The dragon wants to
Um,
know how, if Deza knew how big an area a dragon needs to live in, and Deza rolled a 24 on a history skill check.
And also, Deza said that they never met a dragon in person.
I'd never met a dragon before, and Deza rummages in her backpack and whips out a book. But look, on my planet, dragons occasionally live alongside humanoids, and the humanoids help maintain the territory of the dragons so that nobody else tries to come in and take it over. Now, I don't know how. No, obviously you are a very powerful dragon, but I don't know how powerful dragons get on this world. So if someone were to come along and say that they liked this crater, well, I mean, specifically say a bronze dragon, maybe? I'm just making this up. They
Wait.
might hesitate.
Bronze?
Yeah, bronze. Bronze and
Dragons are not bronze.
oh, they are on my world, and apparently we just did something to open this world up to extraterrestrial contact. I'm not 100% sure on the details of that. They don't tell me everything. But anyway, if a dragon who likes humanoids shows up and sees that there's humanoids on your property, well, they might be less inclined to try and take it over from you. Or you might be able to use the humanoids as shields. I mean, it's up to you, but they can have many benefits. You see here in this book, and
I want to pause you for just a moment because I have thought of a thing, and if I don't say it, I'm going to forget it, and I will not appreciate myself afterwards. This is not canon, but I have the image in my head as Deza is giving this wonderful lecture to this dragon of the dragon curling its neck around above Deza to look over Deza's shoulder at the book with a pair of comically small reading glasses set upon its nose like a pince nez. This is not canon, but I
Yeah.
want it to be.
Deza has already
Yeah.
turned around so she can show the book to the to the dragon.
The reading glasses are not canon, but the dragon is definitely looking over Deza's shoulder at the book. But I want the glasses to be canon. I need fan art of this. Okay, but please, I have paused your conversation. Please resume it. The dragon is intrigued.
I think we can continue this conversation in, or at least involve other people in this conversation, because I'm occupying way too much time.
I'm here for this.
Well, the next person to go after the dragon is Sori.
Sori gets to... Let me double check how long my illusion is going to be lasting, just because.
There's an extremely funny version of this to me, of what happens next to me.
Mhm.
But I don't know if you actually want to do it.
I have already denied myself the reading glasses. Please tell me about the extremely funny one.
What's funniest to me is that Sori joins the conversation while the illusion comes to the other side of Deza to look over her shoulder.
I mean, that's basically what the illusion is going to do. Is
Both
like
of your
to jump
characters, the illusion and actual Sori, both have enough movement to do this.
The illusion is going to do the jump down, and Sori is going to move a little bit less line of sight-ish for reasons, just in case everything goes bad. The illusion is
Okay.
not going to keep scolding. The illusion is just going to jump down and stand in a polite fashion because she is modeling polite behavior.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Just watching Mori flee at speed.
Yeah. Zoom right
Yes,
on out of there.
For the record, I have moved Mori over next to Longkep because Mori and Longkep have both decided dragon bad.
Someone
Unlike,
could...
Well, that's
unlike what I remember from Elbow Rodeo, it's not an instant movement.
Oh,
yeah. When you drag the
Foundry-
characters where you want them to be, it then animates them going across the screen to where they should
Foundry
be.
normalizes the movement, so Mori is now down next to Longcap.
And for the record, Longkep's reasoning is not dragon bad. Longkep has different reasoning. Mori doesn't know this. Mori just knows Longkep dashed, and Mori thinks, that's fair. And Mori follows.
The sad thing
Sorry.
is, Longcap might actually come back once Deza is talking to the dragon about living in a society.
Mori is going to then heavily sigh and slowly follow back at half speed. If that happens, I thought we were running. We'd agreed on the running, not the.
fair.
Why?
Sometimes things
Why
happen.
did I leave my shop?
Poor Mori.
I thought it was just going to be a normal fever dream, but no.
It was a cobalt fever dream. Those are always the weirdest.
But that
Hey,
will be when it gets to Longkep's turn again.
And
Well, is that
Deza has found another book where metallic dragons are described, and is hoping that this blue dragon will enjoy being the first dragon on this world to know about metallic dragons.
I do not think these would last long here.
Oh, you might be right, but think about it. The next time you meet another dragon, you can say, well, do you know about metallic dragons?
The next time I meet another dragon, we will fight.
Yeah, and you can put them at a disadvantage by saying, well, I know more than you do.
How do you get eggs if you fight all the other dragons?
Don't ask that question.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You can't just ask a dragon that
no.
question.
Oh, no.
Sorry, you can't just ask a dragon why he's blue.
That's because dragons are sometimes blue. It's a perfectly good color, even if it's not the color I am.
Well, you might be right. I think you're right.
You are very strange creatures.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
we keep
yeah.
we keep hearing that.
Most of us are strange. Uh-huh.
In fact, we heard that a lot on our last world too.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not
They carried
dogs, we
over to
found
here
out.
somehow. Right. Yeah. That.
Yeah, we're not dogs.
Nope.
Dogs
Actually,
have
we-
fur.
We're descended from dragons a lot like you, I think. But that's far, far back in the history. And in fact, we're looking for our history. And we just want to continue on the railroad path that used to go through where the crater is now. Actually, you'd be doing us a huge favor if you could fly us over to the other side.
I think you're supposed to ask dragons that either, Deza.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, then we'd owe the dragon a favor.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
You sort of already owe me a favor.
Yeah, that's true. No, then we'd owe you 2 favors.
We could be ambassadors and try to smooth over the poor diplomatic, the failure of diplomacy in this circumstance.
The blue dragon arches its neck around, not to look at Sori's illusion, but to look at actual Sori over in the
Wave.
distance and say, "You would pledge fealty to me?"
I'm going to let Sori answer this one.
Mm-hmm.
Sori is contemplating the idea. Sori is not sure if she is permitted to pledge fealty to dragons when she doesn't know what her god thinks about other dragons.
Does Sori
Which
know
is-
who her god is?
No! Sori
Oh, no.
woke up with amnesia and she has a holy symbol and she makes what prayers she can remember doing from her fragmented dreamlike memories, and she tries to think nice things and hope that whatever God has been giving her the ability to do like minor healing stuff and whatnot is, likes being told that whoever it is must be a very nice god.
Smash cut for just 2 seconds to whatever Daldane is doing right now, just for 2 seconds, and then smash cut right back to this. No other context given.
Yeah, Sori doesn't have a lot of her memories because she remembers little fragments of being a little acolyte, and she never got any bigger. And anyway, she might say, "Yeah, okay, it's fealty. Fealty is very big when you don't know anything about the person and whether they would approve of your worship. But there are alliances."
You are very small to offer an alliance.
Oh,
I'm petite. Said.
Dang it, I
Any
wish
sort
I
of
had not run away. I have things to say, but
Well, this conversation has been going on long enough.
I think
that
we
it-
fell
pretty
out
much out of
initiative.
combat at this point.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
that is quite possible that the declared action you gave about long kept realizing fighting is not happening and then come back. We're gonna have. Give me a second here. I can't do this while holding control.
we are very small, mighty dragon, but we represent an organization that lives on more worlds than one, and that organization will need points of contact here. That organization will want to negotiate with those who are powerful here.
Organization.
Also, I'm pretty sure we're the only ones who can control the space lasers.
I'm going to set that comment aside for now because I don't understand it. But you speak of organization. Do you know what the organization of humanoids does on this world? What they do to dragons here? What
Probably
they
fight.
and the dragon turns and looks towards Sori, who was sort of regretfully slowly sulking back and then just freezes in place
Poor Maury.
as she is acknowledged by the blue dragon. What they do to dragons here, as powerful as we are, as much as this world should belong to us, they hunt us down.
Just as a point of order, we did accidentally kind of on purpose blow up their big shiny thing that was causing a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, that happened. Uh-huh.
That happened.
I think they called it a high temple.
We didn't blow the whole thing up, just the part with the big shiny beam going up that maybe was zapping flying things.
High Temple.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
blew up
Mhm.
High Temple.
Part of
Yeah,
it.
Well, I had a handy extra dimensional space.
I just had to punch my leg to keep from laughing too loud.
Oh, no.
Because your response was just part of it.
The Circle of Tales would not approve of the hunting of sapiens. The Circle of Tales is made up of,
Kobolds and kobold allies.
yes. We arrived here, and the first humans we met immediately attempted to hunt us.
Yeah, they don't seem to like anything that's out of the ordinary. Sorry, Maury.
So,
Maury's a good one.
Mm-hmm. He's
So-
nice.
what is she? A kind of pet?
She rejects the xenophobia.
She is, I think, a kind of ambassador now.
She's our friend.
I kind of thought it was a big illusion or hallucination or something, actually, but I'm not helping the converse. I'm just gonna wait over
Possibly
here.
you're a hallucination? I shouldn't rule that out.
I'm just gonna wait over here. You keep doing what you're doing.
Diplomacy.
That's what. Okay, we're not. All right.
I'm weighing whether or not to say something that Maury is going to hate me for the rest of my life.
Nice to poor Maury. She's had a bad day.
She really has.
Poor Maury.
Several in a row, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
This world has already irrevocably changed. It will change more.
I am going to. This isn't a deception check because you did really blow up accidentally on purpose part of High Temple. So someone give me a persuasion check at advantage because we can't keep writing on the previous roll.
Can I try a persuasion check on the grounds of I have a 15? Is that a good one? What's your persuasion?
Mine's +3.
Mine's +5.
By all means.
Okay. I'm going to send the request to you.
Okay.
I like that requests include an auto fail option.
Will a 20 do?
A dirty 20 will do.
Mm-hmm.
Was that supposed to be an advantage?
It was. So you know what?
Give me another one and I'll see if it's any better. Or worse.
Now, when I request the roll, isn't there a button that also lets you roll at advantage?
I didn't see one.
Okay, because if you go to the persuasion thing, it should give you the option of rolling at advantage, disadvantage, or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see one when you gave me
It's-
the request to.
It's a
Right.
different mod that does the the mod I'm using right now is called Let Me Roll That For You.
Let me just
And
roll
that-
another
Let me
normal
up
one then.
inside.
No, I don't like that.
We're going to
15.
take the
We're taking
dirty
the dirty
20 over
20.
the nat 1.
Yes, dirty 20 over nat 1.
Okay. Unless you want to. I mean,
No.
just I will give you the
No.
choice.
Nope. Sorry has a high enough wisdom. She does not want to take the nat 1.
Let it never be said that the DM did not give you agency with how things pan out.
And the opportunity to take nat ones were appropriate.
Sorry would very much like to be believed about blowing up part of High Temple.
By the way, if you're
So-
rolling that 1 in here, it shows up as a red number.
It does. I see it.
Yeah, that's nice. So that is such a fancy die that Days Out rolls. Distracted by shiny.
Sorry.
So no, it's fine. This is so cool. Do you think the humanoids here will be a nuisance for me?
If they could be persuaded of your majesty and the obvious advantages of a mutually agreeable existence, proximity. Daisy, your turn.
I think they can be persuaded to provide service to you and alert you of anything dangerous coming your way, if you promise to protect them.
Protect them.
Well, sure. I mean, they're a tactical advantage,
They run and scream.
and they
Perhaps
also
if-
send. And if other humans come, they send messages to you.
And they are a society. They are your source of the thing that allows humans to band together and become threats to your kind, but turned to your own benefit.
They could be your friends if you ask them.
You hear a voice come from further back in the trees. It's somewhat distant. It is not a rough voice. It's not a deep voice, but it is a very assured voice. You do not speak for us.
We could try to broker a peace.
And we've been playing for a little over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Yeah, right. If we have to.
Right. If we must. If we must.
Okay.
And
Anyway.
I have unpaused just as we heard Jen's wonderful laughter, which is so different from the moment that we left off on, which was a voice from the darkness saying, "You do not speak for us."
So, out of character question, does anybody wish to intervene in me being a terrible person, or am I good to continue?
You
Not
are
whatsoever.
running Kobold software, so I think it's built in to be a terrible person.
I mean, Sori's comment was we could broker a peace, but anyone who wants to follow on that or over it is welcome to do so.
Like I said, I think you can persuade them.
I think so.
We do not, in fact, speak for you. We have attempted to bring the conquering party to the negotiating table, as slaughtering everyone is not in anyone's best interest. But if you decide that you would, in fact, rather continue as was occurring, then we will respect that and we will leave. We do not have the power to
Brainwash.
band with you and kill the dragon, and we have little reason to assist a doomed attempt. We also have no reason to assist in your death.
Kind of neutral parties.
I am going to ask Longcap to give me a persuasion check.
Can I do anything to be assisting in this?
I was going to say, I'm about to help with diagrams and charts.
The voice in the darkness is a bit too far away to look over your shoulder, and you are a bit too close to a dragon for that to occur.
Can Sori project the helpful what's the right word? Non-verbal support of looking sorrowful, at least as sorrowful as a small dragonborn can look, and regretful, and please don't make us saving your lives harder than it has to be.
By the way, I do appreciate that Eo's first attempt to roll a 1d20 plus 1 resulted in D1C3, saying that Longcap had rolled so well that the result was over 1,000.
Can we keep that
I
roll?
think what it said is that
EO had tried to roll more than 1,000 dice.
dice fall, everyone dies, apparently.
Oh dear.
But a 17 will work.
I've already given you inspiration, and you have to say dice fall, everyone dies.
Quick,
Oh,
give your
I
previous
didn't
inspiration to
even
Jen.
get that. I didn't even get that.
Oh, it has been too long since our last session. I am enjoying so much of this, and I will never get tired of saying that. The enjoying part, not it's been too long. Although I guess that too. So with a 17, one person approaches. With those of you with dark vision can see further into the trees and see that there's a crowd of individuals who perhaps not wisely have started gathering together into a group. Not wise when you consider that there's a lightning breath weapon that has probably recharged by now. It's been enough rounds. There's been enough rolls of a d6. But one person approaches. They are carrying a spear, more like it is a staff of authority, especially with the stuff that is tied to it, where it looks like it looks functional, but it looks like there's also some ceremonial purpose to it, but also very, very functional. But decorative. The form and function are combined in this item. She looks fairly young for a human, but stands very proud, doesn't have a slouch, definitely doesn't sit in front of a keyboard all day. as one would expect in a fantasy setting, fantasy keyboards and all that. That's for kobolds to do.
I have a question when it doesn't break narration.
I'm breaking the narration as it is. But she steps forward enough that even those of you without dark vision can see her a bit more clearly, and says, "Your actions during the attack did not go unnoticed. Although the attack was still more evident." And the dragon lifts its head up and looks a bit more regal than it did before with its new pose. These beings have asked for a truce. They have done dragonkind a great service, if they are to be believed. If High Temple has a little bit been blown up, then it is more than my kind have done in 1,000 years.
They did send a thing after us, yeah.
Do you ally yourselves with High Temple? And there is a silence, broken a little bit by, there's still some trees that are kind of currently on fire. We're not going to focus on those too much. But the person with the spear looks over in Maury's direction and then looks back at the kobolds and the dragon. We make our stand where we can, but our home is the Ashlands. Take from that what you will.
Where are the Ashlands?
The dragon looks down at you, then looks over at the spear holder, then looks down at you, looks over at the spear holder.
Here?
Do you want to tell them or should I?
Blink, blink, blink.
The spear holder says, "These are the Ashlands. This oasis is a small dot on the landscape. The rest, for as far as you can see, as far as you can travel for weeks, is desolation, ash, wasteland, destroyed in the war of the gods."
Do it.
I see an 8 on an insight check.
Yeah, that was an 8 on the insight check.
Are we rolling insight? Should I roll insight?
No. I rolled that unprompted because of what I'm about to say.
Oh.
Allie, we got here in about a day.
We did go underground.
For the record, you were going very fast.
Yes, we were.
You were not traveling on foot.
No, we were not.
The insight check was to discover whether or not Deza thought it was likely that these people knew that the rail line was that fast.
They probably didn't know there was a rail line. They probably didn't know there was a
That's
tunnel.
entirely possible.
They may have known there was a tunnel, but there wasn't any car on it.
It would have been a very long tunnel, and yeah.
And it's been a very long time since it was used.
Uh-huh.
I was really hoping that insight check was going to be higher.
Oops. Yeah, we got here in about a day. I mean, a full 24-hour day. It was underground.
Sorry.
I think, sorry, I do think that a mutually advantageous arrangement could be come up with, since humans eat a lot of things that dragons don't eat, and could probably, the combination of you both would have a much greater chance of survival, especially against people who are extremely hostile.
And are you getting enough speaking time? Are you
Oh,
getting
right.
enough
Sorry, what?
speaking time?
Yeah, she's just listening right now.
Okay. I just
She
wanted
doesn't
to
want
make
to
sure.
say, like, Atashi knows she's not really smart, so she's trying not to say something stupid and derail this.
I understand. I just want to make sure that you're getting as much time as you want.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sorry's not smart
Meanwhile,
either. She's trying
Itachi
to
is
use
nodding
wisdom.
like she understands everything.
Mm-hmm. 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 I don't know what it is, but
Sori is trying to use her wisdom to substitute for smarts, and you talk about diplomacy and mutually advantageous, and these are words that are often found because she hangs out with Longcat.
And Longcat, but meanwhile, is trying to substitute intelligence for charisma.
And
Hey,
Mari is
Utashi,
trying.
will you hold on to this for me?
I didn't hear
Utashi,
that.
will you hold on to this for me? And Deza takes off her tail ring,
Uh-huh.
flips it to Utashi, and
Okay.
as she's flipping it,
Uh-huh.
disappears into it.
Okay. I grab it.
You had a spare.
I got a new one.
That's the thing this particular brand of warlock can do.
Sorry, don't put that in a bag of holding.
I don't think
Again.
I have one.
Right. But that's what happened the last time that someone put.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I know. I got it.
And then the
Yeah,
astral
hold on
plane
to
kind
it.
of caught on fire. Oops.
Yeah,
Oops.
well,
In the
hold
meantime,
That's
on.
someone else's
Hold
problem.
on to it.
Deza is listening to everything that's going on, and she is replacing the books in her backpack with things that are more relevant.
Hold on, I gotta swap some inventory. It's the scene from The Matrix where guns, lots of guns, but instead it's just bookcases sliding past.
I want that those bookcases.
I want to go to there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
1 second, distracted by bookcases. So,
Deza, I can hear everything that goes on outside the ring.
oh, certainly. And I see Deza's plan. But also, I want you to take a look at this from the perspective of the NPCs. Very tense negotiating point. And then one of you disappears
Onto
after
this
tossing
form.
something. He's like, okay, very tense. Don't make any sudden moves. We don't want to disturb it. Pow!
Maury from the distance. Yeah, she's terrifying. She walks on the ceiling.
I mean, accurate. Yes, that is a thing that happened.
I believe that Deza is consulting her personal greater powers
And/or library.
and/or library. Yes, she does keep the library there as well.
Keeps the library where?
In this ring I'm holding, it's in there.
I did say you're very strange creatures already, right?
I'm
That is
probably
that
more
is a
strange
thing
than
I have
some of
mentioned.
them. Yeah.
So you do realize that if we openly reach up a form of an arrangement, sort of let the whole setting the orchard on fire thing slide,
Start putting it out.
there are actually people actively trying to put things out right now.
Yes, but I have create water.
Oh, you could definitely go off to do that. Like, okay, so you're having a serious discussion. I'm going to go put water on things. That's very invalid.
In the interests of diplomacy, would it help if I created a lot of water to land on the flaming trees?
This actually seems like a very good moment to do that, plot-wise, dialogue-wise. This seems like
Yes.
the thing on fire,
So say
splash.
Yeah. If she can hit that, hit at least the more close things. Come here. Give me the.
There are trees on fire near and far. There's definitely some within range, or at least within range of your movement.
Can we get some rain in 30-foot cubes and extinguish exposed flames in the area? How many of these spells? I will.
You may also have extinguished a few people who are trying to bat out the flames, but you know what? It's a hot evening, so it's okay.
I will
This counts
cast
as a bath.
at least one of. Sploosh. I mean, I've got a few spell slots for that. I've got 3 more, so sploosh that.
I love this. Well, thank you for that. I guess there's going to be a lot of people very mad at us, right?
You
What
don't
the
have
heck, Ellie? Where did you find this, and what is going on?
I used sploosh as the keyword.
And there you go.
I mean, that does look like someone's putting out a fire, or
With
except was
egg
trying to,
custard.
but aimed very poorly.
milk or something. Yuck.
Anyway,
So that's an image.
I glanced away for 2 seconds, and there's a yellow box on the screen.
It wanted me to cast my water, my rain, so rain on the nearest things.
Assumed we weren't standing next to the burning trees.
But it wanted me to cast.
You were not.
Right.
You were not. But
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, theater of the mind takes precedence. Even if that's not in the right spot, we're not going to worry about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Our work in Foundry VTT is experimental at this point.
Yes.
So
Sori has wandered off to splat things with water.
I'm concerned about your choice of verb.
I did not track out of character that I am the only remaining diplomat.
You are
You and Utashi.
you are not the only remaining diplomat, although Utashi is one of the remaining diplomats. So
And
the
I'm no
question
help
of
with this.
only remaining competent
Competent
diplomat might be the correct adjective to add into the sentence.
I mean, Sori will come back after a bit, but a few spells. I'll just.
A bit.
All right. Longcap is going to say,
She's keeping one first level spell slot. The rest will be destroy water.
Oh,
Or
that's
create
how
water.
you do this. Okay,
Create
so
water.
in Foundry VTT, if you want to do a saving throw or a ability check, you don't click on the modifier numbers. You don't click on the score number. You click on the name.
Right, the name of the ability or the name of the thing.
I have just learned this because I'm trying to make a roll for Mori to see how competent Mori is going to be right now.
anyway, Longcap is going to say,
Poor Mori.
that does indeed logically follow. However, some of those who would be angry, I gather, are currently dealing with a crisis as a result of their declared intention to dissect diplomats. And in Forgive Me, I am noted as a blunt individual. The choice is not between those people being mad at you and those people not being mad at you. The choice is between those people being mad at you and returning to combat against the very angry dragon rather than peace talks with the very angry dragon. Those are things you must weigh. We cannot fix the diplomatic situation, at least not on short notice. And all the guarantee I can give is that if we are on good terms when this is over, we will attempt to ensure that good relations extend between you and the currently somewhat scattered, but I gather world-spanning network that was left behind by our society's ancestors in eras long past. That is how we got here in a day, after all, when we had just escaped High Temple.
You are very confusing.
Long
And
kept
very...
all right.
I'm going to assume Sori says that in character under her breath.
Yes. Yep. She wandered off and did things, and but she can hear the dragon saying, "It's like, yep, that's Longcap."
The dragon also has very good hearing because dragon. So
Yep.
I'm not going to make a roll to see if the dragon overheard that, but the dragon will remember this. But you are also very logical. You would make a horrible dragon. But I
That
think...
is true.
But if you were a very good dragon, there would be much more blood.
And that's my cue to pop out of the ring.
Boop, there you go.
Imagine, if you will, but backwards. I'm not going to make that sound.
Speaking of not a lot of blood, you were about to say something. Just want to make sure you get a chance to speak.
Me?
No, the dragon, whose name we still don't know.
I like that you
Right.
interrupted the dragon to say, hey, guess what? You were saying something. I love this. More than one of you is very confusing.
Yeah, but we still don't know your name. What's your name?
Right.
You have put the DM on.
Mm.
I have lists of names. They are all for humanoids.
We weren't supposed to negotiate with the dragon.
You weren't supposed to negotiate with the dragon.
What do you mean we weren't supposed to negotiate with the dragon? What else were we supposed to do with the dragon?
Far, far away
Parcheesi.
from it, I think.
Jeez.
You know, I did this to players once as well in an
I
nominate
was
game.
drinking water.
So Sorry.
Oh no.
The DM will give himself inspiration. Let's face it, a spit take deserves inspiration.
It does.
I did not spit take. Barely.
Okay, canonically, you did not. Head canonically, let me have this.
It was a near thing.
They do this. You give people dragons, and I thought they were going to fight the dragon when I threw a dragon at my PCs long and long ago. And what happened? They talked to the dragon. They diplomacy to the dragon.
I really should have expected it, especially with this group of individuals. I'm not talking about the characters.
Longcap would have been happy to fight a fight that they thought they had a chance of winning. Then the dragon did damage that would have one-shot them if they had failed the save or if they had not had temporary hit points at the time.
Therefore, negotiation is a far wiser thing.
Mm-hmm.
Crash, I've given you a name in chat.
Dirkia?
Irkia.
What does it mean?
It's from behind your name.
Oh, okay.
It's from where?
BehindTheName.com. Great place if you want names.
You know what? I'm okay with players naming this NPC because I didn't bother, so you're picking up the slack for me. But be warned, I'm going to start asking you for more plot information.
Irkia is a form of Dirk, which is a form of Diedrich, which is a Dutch form of Theodoric, which is from a Gothic name meaning ruler of the people.
You know, that's pretty valid. That sounds like a sort of dragon thing.
Be careful because I might start giving all of my dragons Dutch names in this game.
That'd be awesome.
Why would I be careful?
You find a dragon, it's got one giant claw stuck into a dike.
Shape Earth. We gotta help.
There's
the dragon
another
get
one
loose.
that's hoarding tulips.
I mean, valid.
There's another one who met the one who's hoarding tulips and is really into NFTs.
No.
You have just created the big bad of my campaign.
NFTs.
I will ruin the economy as soon as I stop this wizard from casting Disintegrate on all that gold over there. As I referenced things from before the recording started.
Uh-huh.
By the way, Crash, I want to say, speaking of campaigns, that I'm sympathetic with you because right now, the only thing I want to do regarding my Pathfinder campaign is talk about it.
I know, right? And as a reminder, from the very first Circulus game, there are secrets I have not yet revealed.
There are still secrets, yeah. And I'm wondering if you're keeping track of how many times we've gotten close to them and veered away.
No, because it would upset me too much. So it happened. It has happened. Not the two current games. It has not happened in, but every campaign before that, it has happened at least once.
Oh wow!
It's like finally. No, you went to the left. Metaphorically, it wasn't actually a turn that you made. Like, great, they're gonna fight. No, they spent half an hour. They spent half an hour in a room with a green circle. What? No.
That happened
Again.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What? Okay, I'm putting it in the room with the green circle. They immediately turned and left. Okay,
Oh,
well,
no.
that's valid. No. When they turned and left from the room with the green circle, actually, you were in that session. That was the right choice. That was canonically the right choice, to be very honest.
Mhm.
I love that moment.
I meant to ask you. I have two questions about Foundry that you might be able to answer. The first is, when I right-click on my character portrait, I get a number underneath.
That's your hit points.
Okay, that's my hit points. Second, how can I modify the distance that I can see?
That is an excellent question. So if you click on the gear that you can see after you've right-clicked on the character, there is a pop-up, and one of those options is vision.
Okay, and it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Excellent.
Just make sure you click update token because I keep forgetting to do that when I modify things. But that's a me problem.
No, Deza has the feat that gives her 120 foot vision regardless of magical darkness.
The DM will need to remember that for no reason. Don't ask. Don't worry about
Definitely
it.
no reason.
Nothing.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, the dragon was going to say something before Deza interrupted to say, "What were you going to say?" That's going to be out of context, and I love every moment of it.
I did not. I did not mean to interrupt the dragon. I thought I was popping out at a breaking point.
It's great. There are
It's
no
fine.
complaints from me, young lady. So you care in some way for these people. What are they to you? I
Potentially.
understand their motives. They understand mine. What are yours?
I do not see productivity in unnecessary loss of life. If there is a way that results in less of it, then the world is, then fewer options are closed off to the world in the future.
That's pretty close to mine. But I have some details. Do you want to hear Dragon, whose name we still don't know because you haven't told us?
Great
Do
and
you want to
majestic
hear?
sir.
Do you want to hear my honest answer? Humans, do you want to hear my honest answer? It's weird that we haven't seen anybody but humans since we got here.
Saw some
No, there-
orcs and stuff.
Yeah, there were
Didn't we?
there were some orcs and half orcs and elves.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
Lots of mammals, though.
I retract that.
Well, we will pretend that sentence was never said. The first humans you encountered were a mix. Well, the first humanoids you encountered were a mix. Then they called you weird dogs
Right.
and tried to kill you.
Right. Mhm.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Do you really want to hear the honest answer?
Sure.
You guys?
We're listening.
Okay. So, and I'm going to push between Sorry and Longcap and go back
Sorry's
to my initial
technically
position.
wandered off. Sorry's technically over here,
Oh, right.
probably.
Sure.
Splash, 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 splash. Sploot.
So, I'm a student of history. I'm an archaeologist. I don't know if you have that word. I look for things that tell us more about history. So I do a lot of my digging, a lot of my work in caves or in places where artifacts from the past have come up. Well, I've seen a lot of digs where there's evidence of a vibrant city, a city with people in it, a city with life. And then there's an ash layer. And that ash layer tells me that that city was destroyed. And when there's an ash layer, that means the history of that city ends. Unless somebody decides to build on it, and then usually there's another ash layer because history is weird like that. But I've also dug in old dragon layers. And usually there's evidence of residence. Even dragons leave things behind, and then there's an ash layer, and then there isn't any evidence of the dragon anymore. I'm a student of history, and where people don't cooperate and wage wars on each other, history ends. So I have a personal interest in cutting wars short so that history keeps going, because then I get to see it. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for you, but that's my perspective on it.
It is said that dragons who live to grow old become like gods. Too many gods is why the Ashlands exist. It is why the history of what was stopped.
Nodding, but I'm letting him continue.
What say you, dragon? What do you want? The dragon lowers its head to have its eyes be more at eye level to the human. My name is Dirkia. I would like to talk. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
I was just going to make that joke.
Joke's on you, it wasn't a joke. Oh, that's going to be another out of context.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for
Sorry,
listening. Thank you everyone for playing. My name is Crash. I've been your DM for the evening. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Eo, and Jen, who, and I'm so happy to say this, wants to plug a thing.
Eo's mom writes
Eo's
books.
mom writes books.
Elizabeth-mccoy.com.
So help me, it's a meme.
It's a meme. We're meme. But you can also you can ask your library to order them as ebooks, and they're very inexpensive for libraries. And then if you read it on the Overdrive or the Libby app, it's free for you, and I still get, paid, except for the free ones, which, I mean, they're free anyway. And speaking of books.
My website is bookofjen at bookofjen.net. I've recently been mostly posting videos of Diablo games that I've played and just stick them on my website. I'm also working in the background on a bunch of long form things that are going to take forever. But you can find that at bookofjen.net. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which you can find at shatteredsoulstone.com. It's about the Blizzard games, Diablo and others, mostly Diablo, and whatever's going on with the company. New episodes tend to come out about once a week if we're able to do so. Usually, we try to stay on time, and again, that's at shatteredsoulstone.com.
Speaking of websites, my name's Noel, and I have a website at noel.codes. There's not a whole lot there yet, but you can visit it to see what I'm doing. And I've also got a Patreon that isn't linked there and doesn't do much. But so I won't promote that here yet, but it'll be on the website when I do. And speaking of Patreons,
I appreciate how you turned that into a segue. We do have a Patreon that does do a thing. It helps us keep the lights on. Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can join other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time,
I figured out a script for my website. This is Crash saying,
I love this game. Good night, everybody.
We love you too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.